Hey guys, good morning. This is Simon with Trade and Perform Coaching. I'm doing the trade count just on our highest odds trade yesterday and showing where the entry, the exit, and the profit and the number of trades that were profitable or losses. And what I'm featuring specifically is the 2-bar combo. This is how you get a hold of me if you want to ask for a 5-day pass to the room. I apologize. Or you have any questions about the process, right? So we're not trading the market here. We're trading the algo, right? That's specifically what we are trading. And so I'm going to start off around where I start off of at 5 in the morning Central Time. And this is our first trade right here. And I'm going to mark down each one. So your entry would have been at the close of this bar, which is 40.20. The stop is the bottom of that bar plus a point. So this is NQ, by the way. Excuse me, ES, I apologize. So the stop on this would have been 40.20 to 40.1475. Probably 40.1450. Excuse me, 40.1450. And from that entry, right, the initial push would have yielded you a maximum of 40.34. And of course, all the way up into 916 high, that would have been a 40.20 to 40.51 trade, which is obviously that's a nice trade, right? Who wouldn't want that trade? So there's trade one, right? And I'm only going to go through the long side. I'll go through the short side afterwards, but the shorts have lower odds of working well. So obviously, I just in the room, I encourage people, particularly when they're starting off, to start on this one particular algo because it has a very high win rate of getting you to profitability. There's other setups, but it's important to me that members in the room do get the opportunity to get profitable while they're learning. It's pretty important to me, so that's what I focus on. So next, let's go for. I'm just exiting a position here real quick, and that's done. Apologies. So next, let's do trade number two. So we're gonna have to wait a while for the long, right? The next setup, and there are losses in here, I assure you. This is setup number two. This is the TNP radar right here. We always look to get long at this fourth level or deeper. And we always, if we're shorting, we'll look to get short or exit the trade at this yellow and orange line, or again, further out from that point. Either way, it doesn't matter much to me as long as we are able to get the trade out profitably, right? So let's go look at the next trade. Here's your next entry, purple bar, followed by star, right? These do not reprint and erase, right? Again, your entry, pretty straightforward. This is at 10:08 Central Time. Your entry would be 40.24. Your exit would be 40.1750, right? Your initial push would take you all the way to 40.25, and the maximum you could have gotten out of that trade would have been 40.64. Again, before 10 a.m., if you do the math, right, 40.24 to 40.64, 40 points. Every 10 points is $500. That's $2,000 a contract on ES on a really slow, grindy summer day. It's really, really good. So, yeah, I would take that all day long. Let's go look at our next trade. So far, it is going into New York lunch. We're at 3 in a row. This is not a long right here. I'm going to highlight what I'm talking about here because it's coming off the top rail. Yes, you will see that work on trend days up. That is not a trade in our room. This didn't quite touch the fourth rail. It's still valid if you're aggressive on this trade. Again, your entry here. Again, if you can ask any of the members in the room, throw it out. They'll respond. At Red Ben Trader will certainly tell you 40.42, right? Your initial push up before you get a negative bar took you all the way to 40.58. So that's a 42 to 58 is 42, 52, 16 points, right? So about $800 a contract, right? And the maximum available there was probably that 40.64 again. Going to the next trade. So the win rate will drop in the afternoon. And I don't even know if we got a setup. Here's your next setup here. You can see it just got smaller. We went from, let me erase this. And just to make sure you can see where I'm pointing, I am pointing right here. We're always looking for that purple bar, right? Purple bar, that green square, that's yet another algo, 40.48. The best you could have done on that would have been 40.53. But even in that situation, right, that's still $250 a contract, right? Not shabby, not shabby at all. So let's keep rolling. Your next trade comes over here, right? I'm not skipping any bars. Purple bar, there is a loser in here somewhere, I'm pretty sure. But we're already at the end of the day. No one would have taken this realistically. Your entry would have been 40.34. Let's assume a 7-point stop. And the best you could have done would have been after the close. No one would have taken it. It would have been 40.43, right? So actually, there was no losers on the 2-bar combo in ES yesterday. And that offered you, let's count the opportunities. Um, going back to early in the morning my time. That would have been 1, starting at 6 a.m. 2, 3, 4, 5, and into the close 6. No one would have taken 6. Let's just call it 5 for 5 yesterday, right? Let's go look at the short side and see if anything's set up on the 8 range bar here, right, in ES. So we'll go all the way back. You're going to see there should be more stops on the short side, period. Again, for my guys in London, that's your first setup right over there. If you're looking short, let's see, nothing, nothing, nothing. This was short again. You didn't have much room to breathe there, but you got about 4 points on that trade. The focus of the room is on the long side. Looking, here's your next short right here at 11:30. Again, you got 5 or 6 points out of that trade. And then I think the day was over. This is actually a 2-bar combo with the triangle up and down right here. That trade actually paid quite nicely in the last hour. Gave you about 15 points, 20 points to the downside. So that was great if you could catch it. Again, I prefer new members in particular to focus on the long side of the trade. It's more consistent and has a higher win rate. Nothing wrong with the shorts. Just you should have some cushion before you start diving into them. So that's ES Trade Review. Let's go do NQ really quick. Let's get out of here. And this is a 24 tick Renko bar that we're working off of. And let's see, that's Thursday, Friday. Here's Monday morning. Let's go back a little bit further. Okay, this is about where I start in the morning. And again, I'm going to focus on the long side of the trade, right? Not the short side of the trade. So looking, nothing, nothing, nothing. I don't trade the first 15 minutes of the day, so anything that sets up there would not count. Here's my first trade all the way at 9 o'clock. Bar into the 4th rail, star. If you push that trade, it was worth almost 100 points. Not quite. Let's see, it's 38 to 12, so let's call it 40 to 60, 70 points, $1,400 a contract, right? Here was your next trade. Again, NQ is really easy to squeeze out of. That trade right there, you had to be quick on the draw. You didn't get any extension at 9:30. So for me, that would have been a loser, actually, because I would have never scaled that. I would have tried to get back up into here, and that would have been a loser. I probably would have exited on the – this is a 2-bar combo to the downside, so I just would have taken a small loss there. Here's my next loss, right? Purple bar star. We actually didn't get stopped. So understand in the room, in the context of this, you can see the velocity and the rotation pick up. And usually when we get a big move to the downside, we skip the first algo because it usually stops out, right? So we did not take this, but we're going to count it in the trade count. So here's trade 1. Here's trade 2, right? That would have been, for all practical purposes, break even. This would have been a loss if we had taken it, 15 points. So let's call it 1 winner, 2 losers, right? Again, you could tell that we were rolling to the downside. Excuse me, let me erase these lines. I know what that is. Give this computer just a second to clear these profiles out for me. And this will take just a second. I apologize. I hit that button. I didn't mean to, and it always takes it a minute to clear out all the profiles. As a matter of fact, here. So let's see. We're at 1, 2, 3. So our next entry is here on NQ. This is a valid entry. Again, I want to point something out as you're learning NQ. So ES only gets to the fourth rail. The best trades on NQ are always where they establish outside of the fourth rail. So again, if you're following the algo and you're willing to take it inside this fourth rail, I suggest on NQ you get outside of the fourth rail, but this is an entry. This would be a stop of 15 points on NQ. And then you see the trap back end, which is just another algo that's set up right behind it. Trap back end, that's always good. This pushed you all the way through. So I want to use this as an example for a second. This trade pushed from 67 to 23. So what you will notice is when you can get the algos on NQ, right, to, let me erase these lines. When you can get the algos, almost any algo on NQ, to set up outside, especially if it's a trap, right? So it's slow, it's grindy, it's August. But you'll even see on the 3-bar combos, right? If you can just get these to get any part of the body outside of the fourth line, your odds of the trade working extremely well, like this, right? Even like this, where you can get them completely outside the rail, really, really, really increase the odds of a profitable trade, right? So the rule of thumb really is NQ, get it at or below the fourth, and on ES on the fourth is fine. There's just less volatility there. But you'll see when you get these bars outside of the fourth rail, they tend to get a lift very, very nicely to the upside. So at any rate, NQ was profitable yesterday, I can tell you, because we traded it. And I am sure that we will have another good day today. So my name is Simon with Trade and Perform Coaching. Again, it's the dog days of summer, right? We're right in August. September's about to open up, and I'd expect much better trading. Oh, I wanted to cover one other thing on NQ. NQ tends to grind up. You have to be very persistent with the shorts. And if you're not, you're going to take a lot of stop, guys. So this, I put this in the room for the members. Just the same, you're going to see it's going to take 2 shots most of the time to get the trade to work, or get way outside, like up here, right? Up here, way outside, and get it way extended into a location to get the algos to the shorts to work easily. Whereas on the long side, you don't need that much love to get them to work to the upside. You do get some stops, but not many. And when they rip, they tend to rip big time. And this is within the context of, quote, they're supposedly going to zero. The longs work better. So anyways, that's my 2 cents. My name is Simon. I'm a Trade and Perform Coaching. Email me, tradeandperform@gmail.com. If you would like to get access to the room, I'll give you a 5-day pass, and you can ask any questions you have. Have a great day, guys. Talk to you all later.